What's up, y'all? It's Friday, June the 4th, 2021, and we're going to do the morning mediocre wrap. Just finished my workout. You got to do the work, man. We'll bang this out real quick and get to work here on a Friday. Once again, as a reminder, we're doing Tuesdays and Fridays, and that's it. I'll try to do a few more instructional videos and things of that nature, but it's going to be a Tuesday and a Friday. Water cooler's done. Everything's going to be in these two programs. They're going to be a little longer. They're going to be in excess of 10 minutes. It's more of a fitting of my inability to keep short to any type of a topic. It's true. We'll start out on the European football circuit. First thing we're going to look at, it's Champions League stuff. Tuesday afternoon, Carlo Ancelotti got the job at Real Madrid. That's a coveted one. He went from Everton. He was rumored, but he actually got it Tuesday afternoon. Antonio Conte from Inter in Serie A in Italy was rumored to be going to Tottenham. They, as of this last night, I believe it was, those negotiations have fallen through. He's asking for too much money. I mean, he's a damn good coach. He's won lots of trophies there. Probably one of the 5 or 6 best coaches in the world. So Tottenham is soured on him. Probably going to head back to Pochettino, who is a former boss at Tottenham. And then, we'll see what happens. Either way, Harry Kane is probably leaving. He'd rather go somewhere where he can know that he's going to be in the Champions League, number one, but also have a legitimate shot at winning the whole thing. And that level, he's got plenty of money. Money's probably not the issue. I mean, he's going to get paid no matter where he goes, but he's going to want trophies. Okay, so Harry Kane's probably gone regardless. Conte might have been able to keep him, but without him, no way he's staying. So that's the Champions League. It's also Premier League because Tottenham is just in the Premier. Although they're heading to the Europa Conference League next year, which is a new project that's kind of like an in-between between the Europa and the Champions League. Actually, it's not even that. It's one step down from Europa. NCAA football news. Dan Mullen has become the third highest paid head coach in football in the SEC. He is now signed through 2026 at $7.6 million a year. That is an awful lot of money. Let's see what he can do. I mean, he's doing a pretty good job in Florida, but I think in the East you gotta start closing the gap and get some of that daylight closed between you and Alabama to be justifying that kind of money. So game on. Now, with no further ado, or without any further ado, we're going to go to the Brotherhood of Bitches, the NBA. The Lakers, or as I've heard them called, the Fakers, were out in 6. They lost. Really funny. I was listening to Charles Barkley on TNT, and he called Anthony Davis street clothes. That was one of the funniest things I've seen in a while, and that ensemble's pretty funny. Between him and Shaq and Ernie Johnson and Jet, they're all pretty good. They're all pretty good. The problem with the Fakers is they're gonna need interesting. And this isn't mine. It's something I read, but I completely fully agree with it. And I can't remember who to attribute it to, but it's a pretty knowledgeable piece of information. Miami, when they got LeBron to go down and take his talents to South Beach, he went down there and they surrounded him with shooters. They had a big three, but they put some shooters around him. Okay. When we went back to Cleveland, they replicated that. Okay. But LA, they just did it with big men. Their shooting is horrible. So I think if the Fakers want to make it next year, number one, ixnay on the social justice A, and just play basketball. That's number one. Should be unsaid, but can't be in this day and age. Number two, they need to put some shooters around them. Okay? I'm a head coach. I can game plan for one or two guys, especially one who is as delicate as a you're going into a glass like a factor, you're going into a room with a bunch of glass vases that are all on like little pedestals, and it's like you knock one over, they're broken. You knock into them, they fall on the floor and shatter. And this is going to follow AD the rest of his career. Is he's just not durable, and that's a problem when he's one of your big three. Vogel has done a good job. They are, believe it or not, they're the number one defense statistically in the NBA. Okay, they just didn't have the shooters. They couldn't produce the offense, and they just didn't play consistently. But they played a good brand of defense, and Vogel brought that from Indiana. Having said that, they're going to run it back with him. He's worthy of staying. He's not a diva whisperer like Ty Lue, who can't coach. All he can do is, smooch enough arse to keep all the big guys happy and let them run the team. He just sits around and plays with his marbles, puts his hands in his pants and tries to not let anybody notice he's playing with his marbles. I'm not talking about the ones that you buy in the store. Ew. Anywho, in other Brotherhood of the Bitches news, there are players who are not part of that brotherhood. Exhibit A, Dame Lillard. That man needs some help. Terry Stotts is probably going to be out in Portland. They're probably going to have to bring somebody else in. They got to bring in some help. Either, keep McCollum with him as his Robin to Dame's Batman, but they need a big man, and they need some guys that can shoot out in space. They need a couple of 3-point specialists. They just need to start shooting better. Same as the Fakers, but Blazers, they owe him. He's been very loyal. He's everything that the guys chasing rings and colluding legally. The legal collusion they're allowed to do that the owners can't do for some reason, because they're in the Brotherhood of Bitches. He's loyal. He stayed there, and he's not the kind he's going to force a trade. He's not going to call in bitch like Harden, or call in psychopath like Karen Irving. So good dude. I give him mad respect. And he wasn't yelling at anybody. He wasn't yelling like LeBron would yell at KCP. He's composed. He's went out there and he's an assassin. He goes for 55 and they lose. You didn't hear him say boo. He just needs help. They get him the help, that's going to be a good team. They're scary if they can get him any amount of help. Nets took out the C's in 5. They were shorthanded. The C's were. And Brad Stevens he's tired. Now, he's having to play Miss Salary from Romper Room. He's over it. But he's a good basketball man. He knows what he's doing. He's going to bump up to the front office. Danny Ainge is boy, did he get gray. Wonder where that came from. He's going to be out. Brad Stevens kicked up to the front office. He's going to lead the coaching search. They need to reinvigorate that core. That core is good. They need to get them healthy. Add a couple of pieces. The philosophy there wasn't the problem. The injuries were. No injuries, they're top four. They're a top 4 seed. That would have made a huge difference because they wouldn't have seen the Nets, for a while. They would have seen them late in the playoffs. Sixers and the Jazz and the Hawks all went out in 5. They all advanced in 5. I will say this about the Hawks again, like I said on Tuesday. When the fans at Madison Square Garden will learn to just shut the F up and stop inciting the best player on the other team, they might win a playoff series. They were lucky to get this far. They did. Not lucky. They were good. They were good. They did well to get this far. Okay? They're a piece or two away. Maybe just a year away. Maybe they don't even need any pieces. They're close. But they did this to Reggie Miller. He scored 11 points on him in like a minute and a half in the playoffs. Because of Spike Lee going, this is funny. See, you do this stuff, and guys that they've got the testicular fortitude. Yeah, I said testicular fortitude. Yeah, Brotherhood of Bitches. You've probably never heard of that. They go alpha on your ass. They go alpha. They bust you, and so you get it back in your face. But if they don't stop doing this, they're not going to win playoff series. New York fans have just got to shut up. Bring the intensity. Stop the vitriol. Stop the personal attacks. Stop saying F you, F this guy. Trae Young didn't do anything to them. But they fueled him. Any good athlete. If I'm coaching Trae Young, if I'm the coach of the Atlanta Hawks, and I'm hearing him getting cursed like that, I walk right up to him and go, it is fuel, young Skywalker. That's it. You just at the end of a long season, you just charged his batteries. What did you do that for? Instead of just being boisterous, supporting your team, go after it. You have to go thug. Why? You already have a thuggish team across town. They're in Brooklyn. Let them do that crap. Let them try that with the Sixers and see if they advance. They're not going to. Unless Embiid's hurt. Let them do that crap. You guys play basketball. Do well. Coach T's going to take you a long way. But you got to stop inciting people, man. It's just stupid. Dumb AF, as the youngins say. Just a pet peeve of mine. Show some freaking class, man. You're in New York City. Show some class. But you ain't got none. Stop it. And that team deserved better. But Trae Young, had he not been activated, was he playing out of his mind going into the playoffs? No. All of a sudden, there he goes. He's like the Energizer, buddy. If you'd have just let a sleeping dog lie, they're in second round. Knicks would have moved on. They would have gotten through. Even though they lost in 5, they would have won that series. Because Trae Young just played out of his mind. Go look at the receipts. Go look at the tape. It ain't like you can argue. You can argue, but you can be wrong. That's it. It's just people got to get their heads out of their butts. One more piece that I will say is Coach K in NCAA basketball is hanging it up after next year. And it looks like he's going to have an heir apparent, so he's going to have a goodbye tour, which he deserves, by the way. One of the best to ever coach. One of the best. And if you've ever heard him give a speech on life, just about life, because he used to coach Army. He used to coach guys, very fine, specific individuals. He's good. The discipline, the just about making yourself better in life. If you ever just get a hold of some tape or a YouTube video or whatever of him talking in a speech about motivation and about life. There's guys that have gone through that program, and I'm not a Duke fan, by the way. I was a University of Maryland fan for decades. But you got a mad respect. Him and Roy Williams, but especially Coach K. You got to give mad respect. I don't care if you hate the guy or not. One of the best to ever do it. And just in life, I try to run a program at a very small level that's even 10% as good as his insofar as mentoring my players, being there for them, teaching them that ball is life and life is ball, teaching them about the parallels between the two. And if I can be 10% as good as him at even the small level that I try to do, then I'm further ahead than I could have ever expected to be. So it's probably the nicest thing I can say about a coach. So now he's going to pass the baton. Let's see who takes it. Maybe there isn't anybody. Maybe there is. I mean, there are coaches that could become that. I mean, the coach over in Villanova, Jay Wright, he's got the potential and the loyalty. He's turned down chances to go to the big show 2 or 3 times. He's building something. He's already won a natty, but he's building something, and he cuts a really good shadow as well. So, kids that go through these kinds of programs are very fortunate. And if I was a parent of a player at Duke with Krzyzewski or at Villanova, I would almost insist my kid stays for 4 years. Because what happens in life after basketball? Or what happens if basketball decides it's done with you sooner? You get injured or something like that. These are men who are going to turn you into something better than what you came in as. They're not just going to use you, maybe propel you somewhere potentially, but really just use you, never really give you anything that you can use off the basketball court. So it might be a little unfair, but they're just not adding. Okay? They add the X's and O's. They don't add the life lessons and the lifelong. You're my guy. You call me anytime. You need help, you call me. That kind of stuff. I mean, that's next level, and it's a lot more rare than you think. But there's a very special few that do it this well. And I'm sure Coach K and Jay Wright are not the only ones. And just the longevity of what Coach K has done and the level at which he does it is better than anybody. So him and Jay are not in the same pantheon. Jay Wright has that potential. He's my favorite other coach. And I mean, they've both taken programs that were fairly irrelevant when they took over. Honestly. Duke was nothing before Coach K. So they might have won the SAT Bowl. The Scholastic Aptitude Test. And it's awfully hard to go get diaper dandies as Dick Vitale talks about. These one and doners. It's awfully hard to get a hold of them because a lot of them can't even spell. They've been socially promoted through life, and they can barely read and write, let alone do math. He's got to get people that are smart. He still wins natties. Just think about that, man. Take that, Coach Cal Perry. Take that. That's how it's done. There may not be another one like him. So enjoy him this next season. Whether you're a Duke fan or not, just enjoy him, because it's not they're not making more like him. I seriously doubt we're going to find another. The longevity and the quality of the man. So quality and quantity all in one place. All the things I would want if I was telling my son to go there, or if my son said he wanted to go there. The things I would want out of a basketball coach, which go way beyond the job perspective. It goes way beyond the X's and O's, like I said. I don't know if there's anybody who's going to do it any better. So that's how I'm going to sign off for tonight. For today, excuse me. What I was going to say about tonight is I'm going to be shooting a video potentially tonight about out on the playground. So anyway, about time I get to work. So hope you liked it. A little over 20 minutes here, but then I like to talk a little bit. Duh. You think? Anyway, ask you one favor. If your ears aren't bleeding by now, please like, comment, subscribe, hit the ringy dingy, say all, and then share far and wide, because sharing is caring. More sharing, more caring. Hint, hint. And I'll holler at you on Tuesday, but we'll see. Maybe tonight I'll get I'll shoot a video, or sometime over the weekend. Depends on what I'm looking at. But I'm really I'm thinking we're going to be doing something. We're going to be doing something cool. Probably post moves. So we'll work with that. So have yourself a good a nice Friday, and I will holler at you on either the weekend or on Tuesday at the latest. Peace out, me homies. I'm still lightheaded from working out. See ya.